Alexandre Forges. I am an entrepreneur, owner of Awards and Shirts for Less, which is an apparel company. Also partner and owner of MRO Direct Solutions. We are the only minority-owned MRO company in America. I am also an philanthropist. I do a lot of volunteer work in the prison with a goal to help men and women be prepared to come out and try to end recidivism. Also, I am currently a PhD student looking to get my degree sometime next year. It's been a long journey, and I look forward to becoming a doctor. And one of the reasons why I was inspired to become a doctor is because I want to utilize that service to help men and women coming out of prison, to help them better reacclimate themselves into society. I was born in Haiti. I came here at a young age, and my dad, my mom, all my siblings, all born there. And the recollection that I have of Haiti is that we were pretty well off in Haiti. My dad, he was very wealthy, but he wanted, being that he was older, he wanted to have more opportunities for his kids. And like everyone with the immigrant story, come to America for a hope of the American dream. And he wanted that dream for us. First off, I mean, my support system is my family. I mean, I talk about my dad a lot. You know, he passed away 5 years ago, and this guy was our rock. He was all of our rocks, and you know, he taught us so much. Very little words. He was not a talkative man. He had his times when he was very talkative, like at church, things like that. But in the house, he was very silent, and he said a lot by not saying much. Of course, my mother, just a nurturing type, always there. You can imagine in a household of so many kids, you can imagine how it's survival of the fittest, okay? If you leave something in that refrigerator, it's gone. But my mother would always she'll buy the house a gallon, and she'll buy me a half gallon, put my name on there. And those little things, you know, not that she was showing favoritism, maybe a little bit, but I love that she was so nurturing. And you know, from my mom's side, it was 7 of us, and all of them, from my brother Bert to the twins Danny and Danielle to Pierre to Rick to Alex. I can share stories of all of them, but just what our parents had instilled in us, you know, to look out for one another through actions, and it's a great thing. And even now, we're so close to each other, even though we're in different states. We're still close. Well, in middle school at Westview, I played basketball, and I was getting recruited to go to Central, so I was excited about that. I remember getting a phone call from one of the coaches at Central and saying they're looking forward to having me come on campus and play on the team, so I was excited about that. But being from the family that I am, education is always, you know, ahead of everything. Turner Tech was a fairly new school. It was a magnet school, so it was kind of cream of the crop a little bit around that time. So they really wanted me to go there, and that really changed the trajectory of my life, because had I gone to Central, who knows what could have happened. But being that I went to Turner Tech, you know, I was looking more at the academic part, and but I was able to continue playing basketball. I didn't play for Central. I played for like AAU, things like that circuit, and stayed relevant enough to where when I got to college that I was a preferred walk-on at UF. And that's what I tell you guys, right? What do we double team, right? When they get in that spot, right? There's a reason for that. They can't go anywhere any further. They got only this spot, and you cover 2 men here, it's done. Okay? Let's do it again, fellas. 16 games. Let's make it competitive. All right? There's a sprinkle of people that's been there for me and have taught me a lot of things throughout. And I remember one coach that, you know, coaches are very important in a young man's life. And I remember one coach, Coach Stevens, in the middle school, who I remember something that he said to me that I'll never forget. He said that was a punk a punk move, son. That's what he said to me. And I was like, because the situation was where I was in a fight and he came and he stopped the fight, and the guy was beating me pretty bad. And I know I'm sharing a lot of stories where I'm the victim here getting beat up, but he beat me pretty well because he was an 8th grader and I was in 6th grade. But I remember coach holding the guy, holding him from continue fighting, and I remember seeing that as an opportunity because back in grade school, the person with the last hit is the winner of the fight. So I saw my opportunity and I ran while he was crouched down with coach holding him, and I came in and I just punched him. And I remember coach saying, "That's a punk move, son." And then, he brought up both of us to the office to go to the principal's office and, I guess get suspended and things like that. But I remember him, before we even got there, he was just giving us life lessons. And by the time we got to the principal's office, he said, "Get out of here." And he didn't allow us to go through that punishment. And what he meant by this being a punk move is that I took the easy way out. I had my opportunity. I had my opportunity to fight, and I didn't do so well. But I took the easy way out, and that's not the way you want to do things in life. So that's something that I remembered from that lesson that coach taught, and that's something that I push on to my boys and the guys that I coach in basketball now. It's a great thing to be able to give back. It's not about basketball. It's really about the life lessons, because I always tell my players, the way you play, the effort that you put on the court, that's the effort that you're going to put at work, effort that you're going to put at school. So give it your all the time. I think taking a shortcut can get you in trouble. I think one thing that I do, I volunteer in the state prisons, throughout Florida, and I've seen a lot of men and women take the shortcut. I've seen what they thought was going to be, it's not going to hurt. I will just rob this person this time, and then we'll get jobs and stuff like that. But I've seen guys doing 25 to life in prison. I've seen guys been in prison, incarcerated all their lives, from the age of 16 to now they're in their 30s, still incarcerated. Don't even know what internet is. They haven't had a chance to see that because they took the shortcut in life. And I think that lesson, though it's a small lesson, it means so much, and it could pertain to anything, whether it's at work, taking a shortcut. All it's gonna do is have you go back and do it all over again. Why do that when you can utilize your time right now and do it right, regardless how long it takes, because you don't have to redo it. Shortcuts in life, you usually have to go back and fix what you did wrong. Currently, what I do is I go into the prisons, and we do, myself, it's not just me, I have a team of people from the Panhandle all the way down to here in Miami, that we start public speaking forums for men and women in prison. And this has been a great therapeutic thing for the men and women, because it allows them to professionally communicate things, whether it's their personal things that they want to share, or it's things that will help them in the future. And I've seen so much growth in that, in these men. And what sparked it is seeing myself almost being in their situation, their position, where I was falsely accused at a job that I used to work at, and to see my life just flash in an instant, and to think that, wow, some people are out there, literally, they don't care who you are, they don't care who your family is, they see the color of your skin, and they see the color of the other people, and they just automatically blame you. And I was falsely accused, and I just remember how much hate I had in my heart for the people, for the situation that was happening, and why they would not believe me. And right then and there, my life was, I was going on one path, this is what I was gonna do. Right when that situation happened, I knew life would not be the same. I knew right then and there I was living a selfish life. I was just doing things for myself. But right then and there I knew that, you know what, I need to make a difference in this world. So I decided I'm gonna become a lawyer. Then I looked at the LSAT and I was like, there's gotta be another way. There has to be another way. Maybe being a lawyer is not what I wanna do. So I decided, okay, what other ways can there be? And when I moved to Tallahassee and I joined Toastmasters, which is a speaking, it's been around since 1925, 24. And I joined that group, and then one of the gentlemen, and he doesn't mind me saying his name, Chuck Rabeau, invited me. He said, hey, you want to go to prison with me? And I said, no, thank you. Because I knew that could have been me going into prison, but not as a visitor, but as someone that stays there. And I avoided that whole conversation. Every time I would come to these meetings, he would, hey, you want to come to prison with me? And I avoided him for a few months. Then eventually I realized, and I thought about it. I said, you know what? Remember Alex, a couple years ago? Remember what happened to you? Maybe you can do something to help these men and women. And I said, you know what? I'll come into prison with you. My mother wasn't too thrilled about me going to prison, but I did go in there. And when I went in there and I saw the men and I heard them speak, I was just blown away, and I haven't stopped going since. So I don't just want to live. You know, a lot of people just live, wake up, eat breakfast, eat lunch, go to sleep, and just repeat that cycle over and over. That's boring. And I from what my mom and my dad taught me, there's purpose in this life. There's purpose in this life. There are people that need help, and you can decide that you're just gonna do you, or you can really try to lend a hand, and that's something that I've tried to do, and I'm grateful that God just cleared me of all that, because I would have been doing some serious time, and I would not be able to make the impact that I'm making today had I been in prison. And he took care of me. And I can look back now and instead of getting upset and keeping that hate inside of me, I used it as an agent of helping others.